Hey Dennis,
Hey Grant, how you doing?
doing good. How are you?
Doing good. What's new with you?
My birthday's tomorrow actually.
How old are you? 18?
14.
No, 18?
Yeah. No, I'm actually turning 21.
Oh man, don't get too drunk.
I can't wait to taste alcohol for the first time.
Yeah, right.
As I barely survived Hall weekend. Like,
Yeah, man. I've heard some horror stories about 21st birthday, so
yeah.
try to have the party in your place so you don't have to drive or walk.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not a big going downtown or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather just chill and play weed.
Cost so much money. When I was in college, all these guys were, they just had tons of money. I didn't have tons of money, so I was lucky to buy a six pack of beer and
Yeah.
all I could hang.
Oh yeah. And you're not eating for the rest of the week if you do that, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, well, for a couple years, I was on the plan of the school. So
okay.
I went to school at JMU, and there really wasn't many places to eat in that little town of Harrisonburg. So most of the people who lived off campus got some sort of modified meal plan, usually lunch, so you could pick out at lunch, and hopefully that would last. That's what most people did anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So let's see here. We're doing um, a bunch of advertising for Shop Rural Day, so I'm trying to get stuff for ECU people.
Is there anything I can help with for that?
No, it's they're the all the graphics I've used, I've gotten from Canva, so I can just share. Are you familiar with Canva?
A little bit, yeah.
So when you make something in Canva, you can actually share the link that allows somebody to edit it.
Oh wow.
Really cool. So it's a very, very handy program for that kind of thing. So basically, I just go in and find the thing and send them that link, and then I don't have to worry about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see here. Trying to, the thing when you're dealing with ECU or any really state institution, they just have a lot of rules, particularly related to graphics. They got to be sure that, you know, you're not stealing someone else's graphic, you have permission to use it and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I don't blame them. You know, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's always a pain.
Yeah, because, you know, I when I'm going to just post something on Facebook, I don't really make a big deal. If I see something I like, I kind of use it, and, you know, no one's going to sue me over it. So, um, anyway, hey everybody, how y'all doing?
We're all good. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. You know, it's like Groundhog Day with this, you know, it's working from home. It's every day is the weekend.
I hear you.
You know, it's like, gosh, has this really been going on for more than a year? It's just unreal. But you know, it's all right. Everything's cool.
We're working through it, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's the kind of thing where, like anything else, once it's the way it is for a while, it just becomes normal.
Right.
So, you know, I know that the horses and my dog look at me and say, "Why are you here all the time? What, you used to leave us, you know, who could get in trouble and stuff." So that's about the only thing. Maybe a little bit different. Hey, Allison. Hey, Tor Warrington or Eva. How are you? Arjun.
Doing good.
What's going on?
I need some help with my pop shop.
Alex is your man. Although I can certainly give you my opinion, but I just take everything to him because
Okay.
he's our guy.
Okay.
Hello. Happy
Hello.
Monday, everyone. Happy November 1st. Where's the year going? Good to be here.
Hey, Eva. Are you getting people to sign up from Tor Warrington to participate in Shop Rural?
I am going to be sending out direct requests this week. I have been kind of consumed by Global Entrepreneurship Week. That is next week,
Oh my
November
God.
8th through the 14th. So I have a lot of activities going on.
Are you going live with any of it that I can tune in so I don't have to leave my house?
There are some virtual events. Yeah. So I'm going to try to get a calendar pushed out on my social, Facebook, Historic Warrenton Food Tour, or GEW Warrenton, Warren County, or on my Instagram at Tour Warrenton NC. So
I am not smart enough to know all that. That's, oh my God. Post it in our Facebook page, will you?
I will post,
Thank
try
you.
to remember. Yeah. Thanks for the invite to post the link there once I get it out. But there'll be a virtual with Campbell University, the Innovate Law Pro Bono group. They will give maybe a 45-minute Q&A and talk about what they offer. And then NC State Entrepreneurship Garage will be virtual. And then if anyone wants to drive up for some free lunch and learns, you can get those on Eventbrite. So, but that Thursday, Shop Roll Day, I will be going live, touring around Warrenton if weather permits, going into some of the retail stores. And I'm going to invite maybe 30 people to come on with me for an update, people that have attended my markets over the last year to see what's going on with their business, how things are going, and maybe get some feedback and push some product orders to them. So it should be a fun week.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You're
Yep.
You're certainly more ambitious than I am. I'm impressed, I have to say.
Dennis, I'm just trying to learn. So I'm going to go back on mute here and let my dog in. Like
Okay.
you said, he's used to this new life of remote learning. So if he's not under my chair for 20 minutes, he gets upset and starts barking.
We'll talk to you later. Okay. Hey, Jamaris, congratulations making it to the next round of the Pirate Challenge.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much. Truly appreciate that.
Yeah, man. It's well, how many people entered this year? How many companies were in the challenge?
I want to say, if not 100, close to 100.
Wow.
That's what I saw in some news outlets and papers and stuff like that. They said about 100 people had entered into it. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
That's great. Just feed the judges your chicken and waffles and you don't have to worry, right? No one else will be feeding.
You know,
So
If it comes,
that
if
should
it
buy them
comes
off pretty
good, it
well.
might be my like plan, just to
Yeah.
give everybody food, you know?
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
It worked on me. He got my vote.
Hey, what's going on, Grant? How you doing?
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, Grant knows a lot about that Pirate Challenge, so you may want to pick his brain offline as well. Okay, well, I've been rambling long enough, so I'm gonna get started. So what I'm gonna do today is really kind of an overview of live streaming e-commerce because, because it's so new, I think a lot of us tend to think of it as something really unique and particular, and lots of ins and outs about it, and that's all true. It is a lot of in and outs, and it's different. But I wanted to back up a little bit and give you kind of my perspective. So back in 1995 or 96, I actually started an online business, and it was called Club Computer, and we basically took a computer parts wholesaler, which had over 250,000 items, and we connected their database to a website and sold these products. Most of it were parts, not whole computer systems, although we did have some of those. And, just to give you an idea, at that time, it was really a big deal to do something like that and sell it online. And the actual work that we had to do to actually get the website so it functioned, and truly, it never really worked very well, even though we did do over 5 million in sales online. It was such a piece of crap. It was unbelievable. But that cost us $1 million to have that built. And like I say, it never worked right, really early days. And the game that was being played at that time, this was before Amazon, keep in mind, Amazon was not big at all. The way you drove traffic to it is you would compete on product listings on certain websites. So at that time, there was a company, they're called CNET is their name, but they used to have a computer like shop list or whatever you want to call it. And all of these products were put on there by all of the various people that were selling. And you would pay a per click fee when somebody clicked on your item and bought it. So that's kind of how you drove traffic to it. And like I said, it was a very complicated process. There was so many people involved in building that and dealing with it. It was really, really unbelievable. So then as time went on, it still was pretty expensive to get an online store. But as time went on, it became more and more, I'm going to argue, a commodity, to the point where, now we have things like Shopify or other e-commerce tools. Well, it's certainly not like falling off a log, but it's still relatively easy to get a website up that can sell things. And arguably, it's certainly nowhere near $1 million. Although there's so many more people online now that to get people to find you is now really the hardest thing about e-commerce is getting traffic to your website, I think. And so with the success of Amazon, which Amazon, really got going in the 2000s, primarily started selling everything, started off just with books and started selling everything. And what their business model became really was what I'm going to call a point and click catalog. So Amazon, if you go to their website, you'll see that all products, no matter what category they're in, they're essentially identical on the product page. If you look at a product page, you have to really look to see what's different, because they're really optimizing for SEO and other technical ways of being discovered. They want their products to show up in search results. They want their products, it's all driven by technology. And so the experience of shopping on Amazon is actually pretty bad or pretty boring. You're clicking all around, you're looking at little pictures, you're trying to find your items, and it's just not a super pleasant experience. So and then the other thing that's happened is Amazon has become a place where so many people are selling on Amazon that they actually are probably your biggest competitor, no matter what category you're on or you're in. If not them, then Walmart. And so you have these giant companies with these gigantic catalogs and pricing power and advertising power, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of the game that's been played. And what's happening now with the live streaming e-commerce, it's really a generational change that's going on. Even though it is new and unique and feels really different, I'm of the opinion that it will become foundational for small businesses. And I'll tell you why. There are a lot of consumers out there who really don't like Amazon. They really don't like big corporate stuff. They feel like, the products are not authentic. There's lots of counterfeiting on Amazon, for example. They don't know the story. And the amazing thing is, if you sell your products on Amazon or Walmart, they will not give you the customer's data. You can't, or Etsy also, you will not know who you're selling to. You're listing your product and you're selling it, but you yourself are never going to know who that person is. Very unlikely. So with the live streaming commerce, a couple of things are happening. One of the first things is the ability to be discovered. You can be discovered on these video platforms in a lot of different ways. It's not just an SEO search. It's not someone clicking through a gigantic catalog. In fact, normally the live streaming e-commerce, there are far less products for sale than the typical website. But the idea is that you actually can be your brand. You can stand out. You can be funny. You can be smart. Any of the things that apply to your operation, including authenticity, transparency. If in the case of food products, your growing process, the provenance of your product, you can show it comes from seed to product right on your farm, for example. It's really a unique opportunity for all of you to really stand out with attributes no different than being in a small town and being on the main drag and people coming and say, oh, that's a real nice store, that I like that guy or that woman. It's the same sort of thing. It's the same dynamic. People feel like they know you. Even though it's happening online, it's still a very different set of circumstances. So with that as kind of a baseline, I really believe you're going to see in the next 5 years that live streaming e-commerce will be foundational to your business. It just won't be this odd duck that's completely different than everything else you do. I think it will be your center. And I could be wrong, but I've got some stuff I want to share with you today, some videos talking about this kind of thing. And we're going to start with an interview with the CEO of Pop Shop Live, which I think will be very interesting for you all. But we're going to go beyond that too, and we're going to talk about and show you some examples of how you might actually incorporate this kind of thing into your business on a regular basis. So let me get that set up. Okay, so can everybody see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yep, looks good.
Okay, great. So this is an interview a couple of weeks ago with the CEO of Pop Shop Live. I think you'll find it interesting.
So live stream e-commerce is big in China, less so here in the United States. What's your vision for this?
Yeah, so I think this is perfect timing for everyone to know more about live streaming shopping. So Pop Shop Live is a live streaming marketplace that combine entertainment, social, and commerce. And this is a movement really started by by millennial and Gen Z because they demand and desire for an authentic communication with brands and sellers. So in Pop Shop, the live streaming shopping is really taking the best part of in-person shopping, think customer service and storytelling, and also the best part from traditional e-commerce, think scalability and convenience, and also pushes this into social entertainment and beyond. And anyone on the platform or on live shopping, they can start their own live shopping channel and sell directly to a national audience. In the past year, because of COVID, we have prioritized working with brick and mortar stores, as you can see on the screen, a lot of them streaming from their store.
Right.
And we help them to multiply their revenue in a few months. And
So, Danton, how does this compare to QVC and Home Shopping Network? Something that people of my generation are more familiar with.
Yeah, so I think there are definitely, the future is a lot like the past, and they're always going to be new again. So I think there are definitely some like connection with that experience. But I think the main difference is the real-time interactive interaction. This is something that QVC might have a little bit, but I think the digital mobile first experience really amplified that real-time interaction.
Now, there is competition in this arena. There's TikTok, of course. There's Amazon Live, Facebook Live Shopping Fridays. I didn't actually even know they did that, but they do. Everyone seems to see that this is part of the future. What will set Pop Shop apart?
Yeah, I think first of all, live streaming shopping at this generation is more than putting the broadcasting and the storefront together. It's like I mentioned, it's a lot more about the real-time interaction. So give you an example. Last year during Christmas, we have a seller doing Secret Santa show with hundreds of users, and 80 of the customer make the purchase during the live show and send the gift to other audience in the live show. And the entire 4-hour show, you can see people not only about purchasing, but it's also about in a community that they're unwrapping their gift, doing a two-way call with the seller, and everyone just tear with joy. So I think a lot of those experiences is not something that you can see in QVC or Amazon Live, and we are a lot more focused on building the community and building an immersive entertainment experience that elevate people's everyday life.
Now, one of the trends we saw in Amazon and Pinterest results, they just reported earnings this week, is that customers are going back to brick and mortar. I mean, as we come out of the pandemic, how much of an appetite do you think there is for this in the United States?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, in the past year, we work with brick and mortar stores, and a lot of the brick and mortar store actually adopting a Pop Shop first platform. And there's one store in LA, Los Angeles. They actually, after they use Pop Shop, they closed their two smaller retail store in Los Angeles, and they open a 5,000 square feet space for production and fulfillment, and now they call themselves a media company. And there's also another seller. There's also another seller that they didn't have a fan base before they joined Pop Shop, and a few weeks ago they celebrate their 1-year anniversary on Pop Shop by reopening their store for a day, and they have a crowd waiting outside. Outside of the store, and they open the door and they have to ask everyone one by one, what's your Pop Shop name?
Can we preserve our only home while still enjoying that thrill of being
Sorry about
human?
this, I can't control it. Okay, well, I was wrong. I thought there was more on that. All right, hold on now.
So I'll let you guys have the last word.
Yeah. Okay, what we're going to look at now is we're going to look at kind of what's going on in China with the idea that there may be some learning here. So let's see.
This is live stream shopping, one of the hottest trends in China. Every night, tens of millions of people watch live shows hosted by influencers like Via and buy the products they recommend. On e-commerce and social apps like Taobao and Douyin, the sister app of TikTok.
我觉得已经改变了大家的购物的方式。 其实各种各样的产品，哪怕你不买，你也可以来看。当然，你看了，你就有可能会买。
It's not about, only shopping. It's about the experience. It's about having fun. You got to see 3D. You got to see in some kind of action. It's almost like a theater act.
The internet craze has taken over China. By the end of 2020, the country had almost 400 million live stream shopping users. China's live stream e-commerce market has also grown dramatically, with an estimated value of $161 billion in 2020. It's becoming popular outside China as well. So, is live streaming the future of shopping? Live streaming is not a new thing. In China, it started in 2015 with the rollout of 4G, and it was first used for entertainment and socializing. Many live streamers performed for their followers or chatted to them, making money by receiving virtual currency and gifts. In the West, live streaming is mainly the domain of avid gamers. In China, it's broken into e-commerce.
China actually has a very big e-commerce empire, so it uses these super apps, what we call, that you have payment, you have search of information, you have recommendation system, and you have huge amount of goods available on the platform, and as well as a lot of consumers. So with this advantage, they merge these features of live streaming to make the influencers actually sell goods.
Here is a perfect choice. Nice neutrals, beautiful print, nothing overwhelming, and the warmth and comfort of flannel. This is item.
Traditional TV shopping involves a one-way direction, whereby a host introduces a product, demonstrates certain things, and say, call this number or something. But live stream shopping is live. That in itself is a very, very big difference that causes different psychology. And live stream shopping is a very entertaining way of actually engaging someone else.
When you shop, actually, this live streaming video will continue. It will minimize into a corner, and you can buy the items and pay all on the same app. And after that, the live streaming screen will just enlarge by itself, and the promoter will come back to screen. So it's very convenient.
Taobao, one of China's biggest e-commerce platforms owned by tech giant Alibaba, added a live streaming function in early 2016. In the following years, other e-commerce and social platforms like JD and Douyin also integrated this feature.
开头的时候还是有很多的挑战的，对画面的这个流畅，然后是否能够很真实的去还原商品，它其实在这个上面是有很高的这个门槛跟技术的这个卡口在的。不管是我们的这个用户的接受度，还是商家的这个上手的这个难度都很高，但是这几年下来，基本上难点在不断被突破的。
Over $70 billion worth of goods was sold via live stream on Taobao in the year through March 2021. Latest surveys show that over 60% of live stream users in China were watching shopping shows, and over 65% of them shopped at least once via live stream. In 2020, live stream shopping got a huge boost during the pandemic, when millions of people were in lockdown and many retailers were pushed online.
People, during the lockdown, felt like there's a need for more social interactions. This live platform creates an interesting kind of environment that gives people the sense that I'm actually interacting with you. And then live stream shopping brings in a lot more variety of things that people could buy and satisfy, the sense of losing control, especially during the pandemic.
At the heart of this craze are the top influencers who have tens of millions of followers and sell products worth millions of dollars every night. They often use their star power to get bargains from retailers, which in turn boosts their own sales and influence.
So if you think about China's live streaming, you have to know the king and queen of the influencers. The queen of live streaming, Via, she is actually having the biggest viewership and the biggest sales volume for a long time on Taobao platform. She can sell everything from Gucci sunglasses, lipsticks, homes and cars. One time she offered her followers to go on a Tesla ride with her, and she even, for once, sold a rocket launch in her live streaming room for 40 million yuan.
接下来我们真的要上火箭。
The king would be Li Jiaqi, more widely known as Lipstick's brother. He used to be a cosmetic sales before he turned into live streaming e-commerce, and he knows a lot about the cosmetics. So he's the one that will actually put the lipsticks on himself when he's on the show.
Top live streamers like Via and Li Jiaqi have become celebrities in China and can earn millions of dollars a year. Although not everyone can be as popular, mid-ranking live streamers like Tiffany still earn a good income through sales commissions.
如果说单从收入方面来讲的话，那主播的收入是比普通的工作要高很多。但是呢，主播这个工作时刻对身体，包括对精神都有很大的一个考验的。 就是每天需要集中精力，然后长达5、6个小时，这种状态是很累的。而且这5、6个小时的话，你是脑子是不停的，然后嘴巴是不停的，然后手也是不停的，眼睛也是不停的。像我们做主播，不是说单一的只做直播一件事情，然后还会有选品的一些工作，然后还会有一些其他的事情排在里面，其实是没有个人生活的。那我觉得增强粉丝影响力的话，不是说某一件事情。 可能今天做了什么事情你就增大了影响力，而是每天不断的内容的输出，粉丝不断的可能对你的了解，慢慢的信任你。
里面有芝麻酱的味道，如果吃不习惯的话就慎买。
A lot of successful live streamers are generally very good at communication. They're very good at articulating very simply what a product does, what a product doesn't do. In order for them to sell, they need to be trustworthy and appear trustworthy, and they need to, show in some ways that they're authentic, right? So for Via and Li Jiaqi, they are able to articulate that quite a bit through their body language, through what they say. For example, Li Jiaqi will also sometimes say bad things about certain products because to him that's his honest opinion, and sometimes people want to hear that. And so they seem very credible, they seem very trustworthy, and don't forget, they're also very entertaining and very interesting. If you're familiar with Li Jiaqi, he won a Guinness record for like the most lipstick applications to models in like 30 seconds. So if you're able to create a lot of buzz with interesting things that you do, people who may not want to buy lipsticks will also stream in just to watch what he does. And then from there, you might get hooked.
这就是一般女生出门的时候涂的口红的颜色。
Live streamers also use sales techniques such as limited time or supply. This sense of scarcity can often encourage viewers to buy.
The platform in itself creates and enhances some of these things because you see it live. Something we call social proof has taken over, meaning that, hey, other people are interested, other people are joining in, other people want the same product. And they add it in the chat and they ask questions and they say, oh, I want this too. What happens then? It makes the whole product even more scarce.
But it's not just influencers. Local farmers, luxury brands, even mutual funds have also started their own live stream shows.
Working with very top tier live streamers can be risky. It's not necessary that the benefits will end up with the brand. So we see company executives opening their own shows. And we see like P&G have their own sales room, which runs shows every day as well. We also have like local governors in like small towns to sell their agricultural products. So the live streaming is definitely transformed the way product owners can think about how to reach their consumers. And it enables a lot of players to actually sell.
And live stream shopping is going global. Merchants in Southeast Asia have embraced this trend. And in the West, Amazon has upgraded its live streaming function, adding interactive features like chat rooms. Companies, including Google and Facebook, are also developing and investing in technologies to integrate video and e-commerce.
直播电商它其实已经开始成为主流，它未来的发展空间跟潜力都是巨大的。
接下来大家会越来越依赖这种购物方式，会变成一个比较日常化、比较规范化的这么一个趋势。
If you look at the numbers alone, their numbers alone, Li Jiaqi's numbers or Via's numbers, you know that they can sell and you know that they can generate revenue. Are they able to sustain it over a long period of time? It depends on how innovative they are at changing some of the things that they do.
But you can't expect consumers one day turn into virtual shopping for good. there will be the nature of us that crave to go into the store, to touch the goods and actually wear it and see how it looks like and walk around in that with our friends. And those things wouldn't be replaceable with live streaming.
So what was significant about that, and we'll talk about afterwards, was the sheer volume of types of businesses, mutual funds, all different kinds of companies are doing this, and I think that that's a really interesting way to think of it. It's going to become much more standardized and much more commonplace, I think, than some of these other methods, because frankly, it's a better mousetrap, if you will.
By the end of this video, you'll know what live commerce is.
Okay. This is a short overview, and we just have one more after this that we'll look at, and then we'll talk.
And why it might be a good idea to take a closer look at this trend. Interested? Stay tuned. When the pandemic hit, the usual sales flow for brick-and-mortar stores broke all at once. 12,200 stores were closed around the US back in 2020. There were no other ways to reach out to the customers but to sell online. That is where businesses started to pay attention to live commerce. Taobao, owned by Alibaba Group, was the first one to enter the market back in 2016. In 2020, they earned $7.5 billion during the first 30 minutes of Taobao Live, dedicated to Singles Day campaign by running an engaging live stream and connecting with their audience through live streaming. During the pandemic, the US market started to rapidly adopt the live commerce concept and integrate it into digital marketing strategies. Let's dive in and figure out what live commerce really is. Imagine the live video streaming combined with the ability to interact with the seller and with the ability to buy during the live stream. It basically looks like an old but gold QVC. If you haven't heard about QVC before, it's been around since 1986 and was one of the first companies in the world to combine both television and the internet as a marketing tool. You might remember those TV shows where lovely lady or handsome man were offering viewers to buy jewelry or vacuum cleaners. But there were downsides for businesses interested in partnering with QVC. For example, there was a requirement for having huge volumes of products to be delivered to the QVC storage. Also, as a vendor, you would need to prove that you have the capacity of manufacturing thousands of items within the given period of time. That is why the current state of live commerce streaming is like a breath of fresh mountain air. Live commerce gives the ability to go live on different platforms without significant investments, which democratizing the technology and making it available for businesses of all sizes. E-commerce live streaming is a powerful sales channel for retail businesses. Why, you may ask? The customer is going through awareness, consideration, and decision stages right during the live stream. The conversion rate during such a stream can go up to 30%, which is almost 10 times higher than average conversion rate in e-commerce. E-commerce live streaming builds strong personal connection between the seller and the customer. Douglas, big beauty retailer, was among the first adopters of e-commerce live streaming in the European market. They create different types of live streams, from workshops with experts to talks with influencers. The company reports that the conversion rate increased up to 40%. All of these prove that live commerce is confidently growing as an independent sales funnel. Walmart, Nordstrom, and Amazon are already investing in their own live streaming platforms and live events. It's just a matter of time until the majority of big retail and e-commerce players adopt the technology and include it as a part of their marketing strategies. So the question is, are you going to be a part of this game?
Okay, so that was real quick, but again, it's making the case that this is almost like a movement that's happening. The last one we're going to look at is kind of foundational. So we've been talking about a Pop Shop Live. We've been talking about This idea of, websites in China where millions of people go. This person that we're going to hear from now is really the leader. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, this is it here. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. Let me just get rid of it.
Website? Go to Fiverr.com and find a programmer in seconds. Or don't go to Fiverr and waste your time.
So this company is called Bambuser, Bambuser, and they're out of Sweden, I believe. And they are really intent on helping individual companies go live rather than go to a place and be part of a big show. So their approach is a little more custom, a little bit more just for you. But I think over time, if your business grows, you may find yourself wanting to do this approach. So we'll watch some of this. I think there's some really good stuff here. And I know these people really well. I've been working with them for a while. Very, very good people.
Mariam Garmani is a serial entrepreneur. She took over as CEO at Bambuser in 2018, post their IPO. She's behind their successful transformation and introduction of live video shopping. And Bambuser streaming technology has reached millions of people across the globe. And in 2019, they were the first of their kind to launch live video shopping. Since then, the company's been empowering some of the world's largest retailers and brands by building the next generation of retail and e-commerce powered by live video shopping. I'll hand it off to Miriam to tell us how Bambuser does exactly that. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, Stu, for the lovely introduction. And hi, all of you. Nice to meet you. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'm going to shut off my camera to be able to show you. Perfect. So I'm going to go through what we do at Bambuser, but also, of course, talk about the really big trend about live video shopping that's taking over the Western world right now and actually transforming the way we're used to do shopping at retail stores or e-commerce. So when we talk about our product, it's a lot about the next generation commerce. And of course, it's a lot of e-commerce, but e-commerce is also connected to the omni-channel and of course, then the e-commerce. I'm going to demonstration the tool, going to go through some business cases, the user journey, and also a little bit in the end about integration and features. So let's get going. So we're the market leading live video shopping solution right now, and also the preferred vendor for enterprise campaigns. And we've done some proof of concept and a couple of global rollouts with larger global enterprise companies around the world. It's good to know that normally say that because we're a startup in an old body. So Bambuser was actually one of the first companies in the world doing mobile live streaming, and they started back in 2007. Of course, since the early days of a smartphone, and the first phone that they actually did a mobile stream from the founders was a Nokia 3370. So it actually even have a screen. So we have been doing this for many years. And that's also makes us confident going into the new niche with live video shopping, with having all of this technology and competence during the year that we have built up. Also, I would say that live video shopping and what we're able transforming e-commerce is that we're on a mission to actually elevate and change the whole e-commerce game, which actually live video is doing right now if you look around the world. And it's actually making shopping interacting, engaging, and fun. And I'm going to go a little bit into that to just give you an introduction. So this is actually a picture of Net-a-Porter back in 2000 when they were launching, and it looks maybe strange to some people. It wasn't that long ago. It was around 20 years ago. And if you look today, 20 years later, I would say a lot has changed. But if you look at how all companies out there actually present their products, not much has changed. So we still have a picture, we still have, select the size and then add to bag. So I would say in the way that you present your product or your service on e-com, it's quite static still. So like everything from payments to deliveries has, gone quite smart, but still how a lot of companies, present their offering is still through, some text and some pictures that often does not say that much to you as a consumer. So what is live video shopping and what are we doing? So this is just a recap of one of our customers that's doing live video shopping. So what you do is that the host that's going to host the event is live streaming from a simple mobile phone with amazing quality. And that's also Bambuser's strengths. We've been doing this for many years. And you have live chats where you can actually interact with the consumer when they can ask you questions about the product, the quality, whatever it can be that they have on their mind. You can send hearts. You can do product promotion directly in the live video, so you don't have to leave the video to look at the product. You will have...
I just want to make one point here. This technology is for one company. So this is not like PopShop, which has multiple companies, going live. This is just for you, just for your company. It's very specialized and oriented toward just one company. So in the language that you'll hear, this is known as a one-to-many solution. PopShop Live is a many-to-many solution. So this is one-to-many. And what this also does, and she'll get into it in a second, it also allows for one-on-one live shopping. So you can have one customer being shown around products on a one-to-one basis. So you have one-to-many and one-to-one. And this platform is the leader in both of those spaces.
The minimized player that makes your website go from something static and quite boring to something fun and interactive. It's 100% branded experience. It's good for everyone to know that Bambuser is a software company. We don't, like, the end consumer never sees Bambuser. So it's 100% branded experience. And also what we see here is the recorded version. So you can also, of course, download the video and also the chat to understand what your consumers ask for questions or what type of feedback you got. Very fast about the 2020 highlights. So we've done around 600 plus live shows with our customers. Here is some bigger highlights with larger influencers or celebrities. So we started out in February with David Beckham doing a eyewear collection with Safilo on Luisa Via Roma, and then of course Barbara Strum, and then we did the New York Fashion Week with the Zara sister, and then just 2 weeks ago we had a live show with Emilia Clarke, that's the star of Game of Thrones, together with Clinique. So this is just a pick of some highlights during this year. This is a quote from the CMO of Luisa Via Roma, going back to what I said in the beginning. So like really try to looking for new experience to reach the end consumer and to actually, engage and give them an extra treat than just a picture and some text on your website or e-commerce. We're trusted by a lot of customers, and of course the pandemic and the whole situation has gone that way. A lot of companies search for this type of solutions to actually being able to reach their consumers in a digital way because of everything going on in the world and how it looks. Very small about media mention. We've been in both Vogue Business and Glossy. It's just a pick of some media mentions we have been, and we feel very, very happy about the engagement we really get from the media right now, and it's super fun. A little bit about the trend. So we talk about this generation, and I know a lot of companies are looking for, how can we reach the generation Z and Y that is coming? How do we reach these consumers? And of course, I mean, they're born, I normally say that when they were born at the hospital, they were born with a smartphone in their hands. They have been, they're interacting in live, so it can be everything from Snapchat to TikTok. And of course, they blend, offline and online in everything they do. So I think that if you want to engage with them and if you want to reach them, this is a really nice tool to actually get to be a part of that consumer. And then looking where it all came from, this is taken off in China in 2015 and grown really big. So if you look at last year, it was around 9% of the total amount of e-commerce going through then China. So it's a quite big chunk of their total e-commerce in China. Our solution is 3 components. It's really easy. I know everybody says that, but we're a dinosaur and we made this for dinosaurs, so it should be super easy. You have a dashboard where you manage users, create shows, moderate chat, and shows products. We have an iframe that you embed on your website. That's your e-commerce site with native design elements. And then you need the broadcasting app that you download, and that's where you go live. A lot of people ask us, okay, what's the difference between Bambuser and social media? I would say, like, we're a business-to-business company. As I said before, we don't have anything to do with the end consumer. And also, like, if you're a larger enterprise company, you need to have a multi-org, you need to be market agnostic.
Okay, I'm gonna jump off it here because there's a lot more here, and I'll put the link to her whole interview. But there's a couple of things I want you to think about. So first of all, we're always talking about social media, and the reason we're talking about social media a lot is because there's a lot of people there. We generally don't have that kind of traffic on our website. So the idea of going on social media, whatever that might be, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the concept of thinking is that's where the people are. Well, there's some things to know about that, and you can actually go live on all of those platforms in one form or another. But the truth of it is, you don't get any of that customer information. You don't get the data. They do. In fact, they try to sell you on buying the data from them or buying ads from them. So by definition, it's not yours, it's someone else's. And by having a solution like Bambuser is one example, and there are other players, all of that stuff comes to you. But the onus is on you to drive traffic to your site. So that's just an important thing to understand. We're starting with PopShop Live because PopShop Live has tens of thousands of consumers that are already there. So we're gonna take advantage of that. But I could see that some of you over time will in fact put it on your own site or have your own platform and not have it on the others. Or conversely, and this might be a little bit dense, and we'll talk about this some more, but technically, if you think about a live stream, it's a line of data. Let's just think of it like that. Think of it almost like a wire with line information going out. You actually have the ability, once you get into this, where you can actually send multiple versions, multiple streams of your live show can go to different places all at the same time. So for example, right now, while we're doing Zoom, we are also live streaming to YouTube. So there's a live stream going on YouTube right now in addition to this. So that's just one small example. You could theoretically have the ability to live stream to PopShop Live, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, your own website, and you can partner with other websites and put your content on it. So multi-streaming is something we'll talk more about another time, but realize that all of this kind of stuff is really not that hard to do. I know it's easy for me to say that, but it really isn't. So our Shop Rural Day, we have embedded on shopruralday.org is the PopShop app. So if you go to that site, you'll be able to participate in the show from shopruralday.org, or you can download the app yourself. So that's another example. That's a kind of a multi-streaming strategy. So anyway, I throw that open for you guys to ask any questions you have at this point. That's about all I was going to cover today. So yeah, that's about it. Someone said LinkedIn is increasingly becoming popular, and I would agree. It's a little bit different clientele, but it is becoming increasingly popular. I agree, Jamaris.
I have a question about, I actually need clarification on what you just said, that we, that the website, what was it? Rural?
Shopruralday.org.
Right. If we go to that, it will be like going to the app, but the user wouldn't necessarily have to download the app. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me show it to you. I'm going to show you right now what it looks like just to make it simple. Hold on here.
Because that was one of my concerns. I was just thinking that if I were to go ahead and advertise on my social media and say, hey guys, I'm going to be live streaming, I'm actually expecting people to go and download the app and create an account and then watch me live stream. But if we could just do that directly from your website, I think that's just awesome.
Well, this all kind of evolved because what I realized with everything that I'm doing to promote this event, I'm promoting Shop Rural Day, right? So I was concerned that a lot of people were, going to go to Shop Rural Day, and would they make the jump to download the app? I wasn't sure. So I asked them if we could embed their app, and they said yes. So can you all see it on here? Mm-hmm. So we've embedded their app, and my understanding is you can embed, I don't know if you can embed just your particular show, or if you have to show the whole thing like this. That's something to ask Alex about. But this actually is the app, and you are going to have to register in order to buy. But I just felt like this made a lot more sense to promote driving people here rather than hoping that they'll figure out how to download an app. So yeah, this is what it looks like. And you can do the same thing, I'm sure, on your website.
So if they go to this URL, and so this is already embedded in there, in order to find my live stream, do they just enter that reference number and my show? How does that?
How are you all?
Yeah, I think
I'm in class, but I'm on mute.
Yeah, there we go. Basically, can you see on here where it says discovery?
Right.
So all of the participants in Shop Rural Day will have a little panel here. So people can just go there and they can see your deal. Okay, as far as searching goes, I don't know the answer to that at this point. I don't see a place where you can search, but it must be, I'm sure there's a way to do it, but that's an Alex question.
Yeah, when I signed up as a seller, and I'm sure others did too, it popped up a reference number, and it said, share this one with when you're communicating with people about your show. There probably has to be a way.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. And the idea behind this also, because Pop Shop to me has a lot of crazy stuff on it, in my opinion, we talked them into giving us our own space. So this Shop Rural Day space is where everyone will be. And you are also free to go on to the platform individually, in which case you'll be here and on the app separately. So this is all stuff to work out with Alex about the best way to do this. My thinking is this kind of concentrated approach is the most beneficial to you when you get started, because everyone on Pop Shop Live is going to know to go here. The Pop Shop Live is actually spending a lot of money to promote this. And we ourselves, we are spending $10,000 on ads to drive to this place. So this will be a good discovery vehicle for everybody. But then you may well end up independently going on the site and doing your thing separately. And you may also find yourself wanting to go on Facebook Live or Instagram or some of this other stuff as well. So all that stuff needs to be worked out. I haven't spent a lot of time thinking that through. My goal is to make sure everyone in the Pop Shop Live world finds you all. That's really my goal and the reason it's set up this way. So
one last question. If you scroll up a little bit further up, there was towards the top of this screen, right there. It says you can also watch the show here, popshop.live/shop rural day. So will that also be something similar where the viewer doesn't necessarily have to download the app?
yes. Well, it didn't. Hold on a second. What's going on? Yes. Again, maybe more a question for Alex, but my understanding is, yep, there we are.
There.
So
that's awesome.
That's on Pop Shop Live. So it's the same thing. It looks the same. It's got the same stuff. This is what's embedded on Pop Shop or on Shop Rural Day.
That's perfect. Thank you.
So Dennis, this is Eva. A question.
Hey, Eva.
This is great information. It would be good to have that URL link to share. But if you could clarify with Alex, if this is only for watching, because if you want to buy, I am curious if you need to have the app on your phone uploaded so you could click buy now, or if you also want to come in as a guest speaker, if you have to, I think, do it from the app versus that URL. So any more information you could find out would be great.
Well, I'm going to encourage you to go directly to Alex because I don't want to.
Okay.
I know nothing about their system and I don't want to mislead you.
Okay.
So, it's real. I think it's good for you to. The goal here, we've kind of got the now goals and the later goals. The now goals are, let's make sure every single possible potential customer can find you on 11/11. That's my objective. Okay. And how we fulfill that, whether it's them watching it here or they have to download the app or, you can be on here live telling them what to do. Hey guys, go download this on your phone right now. I'll wait. You can interact with them and tell them what you want them to do. But I truly don't know. Here's my understanding, and it's for what it's worth. Pop Shop Live, from a technical perspective, right now only broadcasts on iOS devices. Okay. However, you can watch it and you can buy stuff on any device, including a computer. Okay, so that's where this popshop.live URL on the web is. You can actually, as I understand it, you can do everything you can on the app, you can do on this URL, except broadcast your live show. That's the only thing you can't do from anything other than the app, the iOS app. But you need to clarify that with Alex, just to be sure.
Okay, and I think there was a link shared on the Facebook page from Alex's how-to this past Friday. Is that correct? It's videoed?
Yeah, I don't know if I got his video, though. I don't remember getting it. I think we had a link to the Zoom where you could participate while he was doing it live on Friday. But I did ask him to send me the recording, and I will post that when he sends it.
Okay, great.
You sent out a discount code. I believe that was either this morning or sometime late last week.
Yeah.
I just saw the email this morning, though. How does that work? And
I must
how do they?
I must admit that I am confused. Here's how it was presented to me. Rebecca Cahill is Alex's boss. So she's the vice president of sales for Pop Shop. And she sent me an email and said, we've set up a code, Shop NC. Anyone who uses that code to buy will receive a 10% discount, and Pop Shop Live will pay that 10% discount. It's not coming from you or the merchant. So I think that's great. How that works with your vendor code and all that kind of stuff, you're just going to have to ask Alex. So I don't know.
Okay, and
Supposedly,
only on that day.
go ahead. What's that?
And it's only on that day that this discount code is applicable. Is that right?
I believe, your guess is as good as mine. That would be my guess.
Okay.
The beauty
I'll reach out.
The beauty of it is
And-
they are paying for it. And it's really, it makes for great economics. One of our people in our class sells items that they are not allowed to discount by their manufacturer. It's just not allowed. But she's going to be able to sell her products, her sewing machines, which can cost up to $5,000. She'll be able to offer this discount, only she's not offering it, right? It's being offered by Pop Shop Live. So she doesn't violate her deal. And she's really excited about it. So she's promoting that to all her customers because she feels like that's going to cause a lot of sales to take place. So anyway, it's got a lot of potential. Anyone else?
A basic question. If
Yep.
somebody decides they want to sell on the Shop Rural Day, how do you have an idea of how much of your product you should have available for that day?
Another Alex question, in my opinion, because I have no clue. But I have seen a lot of Pop Shop Live, believe it or not, where they only have one of each item. And they use that to make the sales, right? You got to buy this because there's no more. So I think it depends on your category. I think it's a really good question to ask Alex. What makes sense for you? A lot of us, we don't know how many people are going to show up. Someone told me they thought maybe as many as 40,000 people will show up, and I'll believe it when I see it. But I think it's fair to say there will be a lot of people coming that day. So what's a reasonable amount? I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, wish I did. Sana? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought Sana was asking a question.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that if it helps at all, I am setting my inventory to be whatever I can reasonably ship out within the 1 to 2 day period after the show.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm setting it to be. And of course, depending on how it goes, next time I do my independent show, I'll just revisit that.
Yeah. Yeah. And realistically, what I plan to do right now, to be perfectly honest, I plan to keep Shop Rural Day going all through the holidays, the actual platform. And the reason for that is because everyone will be aggregated there. Even if you ultimately go do your own thing, that's fine. But this will be a center of gravity that people can find your stuff all through the holidays. So it may be that a lot of it will be your recordings as opposed to you going live, because you won't be able to go live as much. That's cool. They can still buy from the recording, believe it or not. So this is probably going to, unless Pop Shop Live says to me, we're going to charge you $50,000 to keep it live. Short of that, I plan to keep the Shop Rural Day event, if you will, or this section live as long as I can. Okay. Any other questions, thoughts? Okay. Well, I'll post the URLs that we looked at today in the Facebook page so you can see if you want to look at these some more. There is so much going on in this space. It's really kind of hard to sort it all out. But I will say that Pop Shop Live is one of the only ones I've run across that actually has a really big population of buyers, and they are not a social media. They're not their own thing. They're not trying to keep the customer data or the information from you. So that to me is what made them such an appealing partner for this. We could have partnered with TikTok or Facebook or any of those guys, but to me, it defeats the purpose of getting established. You can always go on those platforms, but you're not going to get any data. You may sell a lot, and that's great, but I think it's better to build your own customers, your own data, your own thing is a great way to start. You may ultimately end up doing all of the above, all at the same time. Sounds intimidating, but it actually can be done. So, all right. Well, the rest of this week, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence for entrepreneurs, a very important subject. It's something you probably haven't given a lot of thought to. It can make your life a lot easier as an entrepreneur. It's one of the best sections of Techstars. I love it. Don't like it, love it. So we've heard about IQ all the time, but EQ is actually more important than IQ when it comes to selling stuff to people. So I'm anxious to share that with you, and that'll be the main thing. I am going to be working a lot on Shop Rural Day. All these questions that you have, if Alex cannot answer them, let me know, and I will get over his head. We'll get some of the big shots to help us with questions we don't know the answer to. But we are actually pioneers. We're actually the first ones ever to do anything like this. Really, in effect, a rural shopping festival is what we're doing. So we're going to learn a lot. We're going to be the ones answering the questions after this because we're going to know. And I hope like hell people show up and buy lots of stuff. So you got to be sure to get the word out to your client base. Let's make it as successful as we can. And I think it's going to give you a whole new way to sell and a whole new way to grow your business. That's my intent. All right. Anybody got anything before we go? Okay. Well, I'll see everyone.